Well, here we are, friends at home. Welcome to the second season of the intro hour. Now, I have some commentary that I need to drop early. You might ask yourself, Arthur, you haven't streamed for 40 days. It's actually closer to like 42. You might say something like, where the hell have you been? Obviously, I've been on vacation. And it was a light December as well. I didn't stream that much in December. But those questions aren't necessary because we're going to answer them in terms of my vacation. The better question is, what did you miss while you were away? Now, you know me. I'll do anything for a bit. I'll chase a bit across the world if I have to. I'll do literally anything. Know that this is not a bit. I am smiling, but only because I have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen when I say what I have here. The thing that I missed most while on vacation was that when I started the spin up for a joke, I didn't have Spoon there to start laughing immediately. Like, just talking to people and having jokes, some of them didn't get the joke, and that's fine. Others of them laughed afterwards. Yes, that was great. But I realized how great it was to just have someone who understood a cadence that I don't even know that I'm doing and know that I'm about to tell a joke and then start laughing before the joke even begins. So the thing I missed most on vacation was not my cat. It was not my family. It wasn't my mom. It wasn't even my own house. The thing I missed most was knowing that if I start telling a joke, Spoon will start silently laughing and turn his face away, and just knowing there's someone out there who knows.
Oh, man.
All right, now here's part two. Here's the part two follow up to that. When I started my vacation journey on January the 4th, I went to my mom's house and I saw something sitting on the kitchen table, and I was like, is that graph paper? And I went over to it because I was like, damn, I haven't seen in-person graph paper in like 20 years. And there's like writing on it. And I was like, well, this ain't one of my old D&D maps. And I'm like, who's writing this shit? And at first I can't read the handwriting, which is normal because my mom, of course, is a doctor and all her friends are doctors and they all have fucking terrible handwriting. And then I'm like, first off, who wrote this letter about me? To be clear, the letter is about me. And then I got to the bottom and it was signed Savannah. So this is a letter that Savannah, I remembered afterwards that she told me that she included a letter when she sent the blanket to my mom that she knitted or wove or however she clicker clackered it. All right. So this thing is for months sitting on my mom's kitchen table. And I put it back down and I said, do you need me to throw this out? She's like, oh, no, it's just trash. I haven't gotten to it yet. You know, so I got back yesterday. This letter is still sitting at her seat, at her kitchen table, pointed so that she can read it with every meal. Okay? It was not thrown out as promised. So just know that my mom has basically enshrined whatever is on this letter, because I can't read half of it. Because Savannah, I hate to say this, your handwriting is incomprehensible. But whatever it is, my mom won't throw it out.
I wrote a very sweet note on there. It's probably why she won't throw it out.
Okay.
I'm tickled pink.
All right. Well, she said she'd throw it out, and then she didn't. So let's just be very clear about that. All right. Great. We got through the emotional part of this return.
Only if you want to know, though.
No, I don't want to know what's in the letter. You wrote the letter to my mom. I don't need to be, intercepting it. We have a question. Okay. One person wrote in a question for today's thing. And it was, if you could have an RPG for any property that isn't Sanderson related, what would it be? Now, the thing is, they didn't say tabletop RPG. They said RPG. But my answer would be the same regardless, because it would be Terra Invicta. because I feel like the world of Terra Invicta has such incredible, sick potential as both a video game RPG like Fallout style or Skyrim style, and also as a tabletop RPG to just do like whatever the Burning Wheel, it's Burning Suns.
Since they weren't specific, what about as a shoulder rocket propelled grenade launcher? Would that also work?
An RPG for so you're saying if I wanted to shoot an RPG at a property, I don't know that
No,
I want to list
thinking
literal
like a
properties
branded-
in real life.
branded
Like,
RPG. I think a branded RPG, you know, like property branded.
like Colt or something.
Like Jinx's shark gun, for example, from
Wow.
Arcane / League of Legends.
That's much larger than an RPG. Very sick. It's closer to being a Carl Gustav. I will say, back in my time playing Battlefield Bad Company 2, I was known as something of an artist, and my paintbrush was the Carl Gustav missile launcher. It turns out that if you tag somebody with the flare pistol, your Carl Gustav will lock onto them and will hunt them no matter where they go. No matter where they go. All right. I mean, I've got like 40 things to talk about, but you know, you guys probably also have stuff to talk about because none of us have
that
talked.
question too.
Oh, what? Sorry, which question? Oh, yes, of course. You can also answer that question. Which, to repeat, if you could have an RPG for any property that isn't Sanderson related, what would it be?
I mean, so I actually have two, and I've written two in the past to try and do this. So one was I would love to do a tabletop version of Mass Effect, like Mass Effect Universe.
Hmm.
And the other is actually The Matrix. Having worked on it and then working with the creators as well, like they had this whole vision of a completely multimedia thing for it, and I at one point started trying to write an RPG based around the concept that you could just sideload skills whenever you needed. And how you would actually manage that from a balanced perspective. So yeah, I'd love to see that as a tabletop RPG.
Interesting. Because I feel like we had The Matrix Online.
We did. I played quite a bit of that. I didn't run. I was one of the writers in the role playing guild on that.
Interesting. I didn't really play. I think I made a character and then played it for like 5 seconds and then decided it wasn't for me.
It was never released in Australia. I had to get a friend of mine with an American credit card to pay for it, and then I had to pay him back because they wouldn't even accept Australian credit cards.
Unbelievable.
What was the question? It was the non-branded RPG?
If you could have an RPG for any property that isn't Sanderson related.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whoever did this is a Sanderson hater, I guess.
It's
funny because almost all the Sanderson properties already have RPGs for them.
Or they just assume that like you would obviously make one of every Sanderson property. So what else would you make one of? Maybe that's their point of view.
So he wrote 2 short stories, which are quite good, for Infinity Blade, which is a mobile game. So he already has that covered. If it was Sanderson related, which it's not, but if it was Sanderson related, I would want from his superhero universe, which is where all it's like The Boys, but Sanderson style. So no one curses and there's no sex and no one's mega Hitler. But evil Superman rules the world, and so regular people form terrorist cells in order to kill evil superheroes. And there's a religion that the good superheroes will come one day. Yes, Spoon, non-Sanderson related RPG, not necessarily tabletop. Could be a rocket-propelled grenade launcher.
I think I would go maybe like a Halo, or so Halo, or maybe like The Expanse.
I'll buy The Expanse for sure. My problem with Halo is that the writing has been absolutely fucking wild. Like when I read what Halo is about now, Yes, but yeah, I mean that's the Halo universe
Like,
is my
back
problem.
during 1 through 3.
Okay, yes. So before it was like, okay, Cortana is evil, and now there's multiple Cortanas. And also, there's the Forerunners who are just the Protheans. And then
Yeah.
there's like the idea that there's multiple Halos, very cool. The idea that, the universe will end, always has been ended by the Hive, no, not great. Kind of existential.
Yeah, I'm talking like mid or early to mid Covenant War Halo, or even pre Covenant War Halo, where it's like, you know,
There's a pretty good Halo movie. I want to say it's called Forward Unto Dawn.
Yes,
I think it's like the end of 3 and the start of 4, and for me, that's it. Like,
Well,
I
so-
didn't play 4. I don't know anything about the setting. I just thought the movie was good.
Forward Unto Dawn. The main character of Forward Unto Dawn is Lasky, who is the XO of the UNSC Infinity.
So that's probably where Halo Infinity takes place. I'm just going to use context clues there.
It was the. I mean, that's. I actually don't know, but it was Halo 4 that was like the capital ship that you were on.
Yeah, because I definitely know that they're like, Cadet Lasky, stop fucking around.
Yes, but
what are you, an indie lover, Lasky?
Yeah, no, that was a very good movie.
Uh-oh.
A very good like short film.
I have a bunch of messages. Oh, it's just Savannah on Discord. Okay. Why do you want me to be carried away in the night by owls, Savannah? Is this a murder threat? Did you want me to just die?
You like to go on long walks, and you don't like talking to people.
I like to go on short walks.
Sorry, you like to go on woodland walks. And
that is true. Yes, I do like woods.
So I thought maybe you being carried away by owls would be fitting.
Nature's slowest flying predator. The owl.
A quietest.
By all known laws. It's funny that you mentioned that I don't like talking to people, because the last week of my cruise, I talked to tons of people, and people tried to acquire me like I was a free agent at a draft. Different families wanted to adopt me into their social group. It was wild. I'll say this about the last leg of my cruise, right? I've had butler service before on my cruise. It was nothing like this. All right. This butler service was absolutely fucking wild. You would walk into a room and your personal butler would appear out of a side panel out of nowhere and be like, "Ginger beer, sir?" And I'd be like, "Yes, of course, Ariana." And he'd be like, "Very well. I'll have it with ice prepared. Actually, I saw you coming and I ordered it from the bartender already. It's here in my hand." And I'll look down, and like those Old Spice commercials where he'll be like, "Look back to me." He would have a ginger beer with ice already in hand, and I'd be like, "Wow, incredible." And then I'd go and sit down. You'd sit down for meals, you'd place your order, and the amount of personal attention to everything that happened was fucking crazy, dude. If your drink ever ran out of stuff, like if you ran out of water, someone would instantly pop out of a side panel and just be like, more bottled spring water, sir? Perhaps you'd like some sparkling or the evening's wine?" You ever get a multi? I mean, I feel like James definitely has. So before I say this, let me preface it. James has definitely done in this way, where like you get an appetizer and then they take it away and they bring the entree. At this experience, it would literally be like, as soon as I finish the last bite of my appetizer, someone would appear with my entree on a hot plate. It honestly, it is insane. There are probably people that live their whole life like this, and the level of luxury, privilege, and power is fucking crazy. On the other hand, I have never encountered the level of racism that I have while on this cruise. And I lived in the backwoods of West Virginia, so that was wild.
Was it like a degustation
God.
menu, or
Sorry?
is it like a degustation menu?
I'm not sure what that is, so.
It's where they bring you like lots of little courses, like 5 or 6 courses.
Oh, yes, you can
one
order
after
that
each
way.
other.
Yes, and if you
Yeah.
go to the lounge area, they have hors d'oeuvres that they change every 2 hours. It's literally just like 100 different hors d'oeuvres laid out, and they completely renew it every 2 hours. It's crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. It is. I understand. So, just to be clear, here is the timeline of events. I took a Butler cruise on my preferred style of ship. That inspired my mom to take a Butler cruise on this cruise line that I'm talking about, MSC. All right. And it should be noted that MSC is a privately held company, no shareholders, and also invented the concept of ship within a ship, like ultra luxury cruising, of you are separated from 95% of the rest of the ship, and you basically can just live your whole time on this part with butlers descending out of the wings at all times if you need anything at all. So she tried it and she was like, "Oh, I like butler service." Now, I didn't know that she had gotten butler service like this. But anyway, now she does butler service everywhere, all the time, on all of her cruises. And she was like, "I did butler service on NCL, your preferred brand. I don't like NCL anymore. Their butlers aren't as good as MSC. You should try MSC." And I'm like, "Yes, I guess." And she's like, "Great, I'm going to send you in January." And that's how I ended up here. It's fucking crazy, dude. I think that, not that I take a lot of vacations, but I think I'll probably just save up and just do MSC from now on. It's the luxury and privilege is intoxicating. It makes me feel like I'm dividing Africa up in a Victoria 3 situation where I'm like, "All right, fat cats, let's cut our cigars, drink our Churchill brandy, and sit down and figure out how we're going to colonize the world."
What shall we call this point at the farthest southern point of Africa? Oh, Cape of Good Hope. Okay, yes, that sounds bully.
Bully, yes. Well, we'll call the whole region South Africa. Incredible. We'll let the Belgians settle north of South Africa. It was wild. Absolutely wild. I am now available to answer any questions about my vacation you may have, and I simultaneously open the floor to anyone who wants to talk about anything.
I want to know more about these families trying to draft you.
All right, so night 1 on the final cruise, everyone is miserable. Let's be very clear here. Everyone is miserable. So it was, I don't know, 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and there was 6 inches of snow on the ground. They were about 2 hours behind getting people off the ship, and there was a problem with the luggage delivery carts freezing, so they couldn't get people's luggage off the ship, and they couldn't get people's luggage on the ship. Yeah, so it was basically a freaking nightmare when I arrived, and it was extremely stressful for everybody else. But because I was in the luxury yacht club of MSC, I got to skip all of the lines, and they just had a guy follow me around with a giant sign that said Yacht Club, who was wearing full butler's outfit with white gloves. And they just led me up to the security people, skipping like 150 dudes. I watched someone's hopes and dreams get crushed when they failed to have the correct identification to get through security. And you know, I've been on a cruise or two. I've been on a cruise or two. Normally getting through security probably takes upward of an hour. I got through in about 10 minutes. It was amazing. It was still 9 degrees inside of the cruise terminal, however. So we're all freezing, and it's not great. And then we finally get on the ship. And so we're all kind of sweaty and miserable from getting on and walking through the length of the entire ship and getting situated. no one's rooms are ready because, no, the people who were supposed to get off didn't or couldn't get off, and their luggage didn't get off, and our luggage wasn't getting on, so the rooms weren't ready. So anyway, we're all hanging out here, and I am the only person going alone, which isn't that unusual, because for almost all cruise lines, if you want to get a room, you have to buy at least 2 tickets. Now, I've always done that. I just accept it as a part of, doing it. I had to do it here. And by I mean my mom had to do it here because she bought this one for me. She wanted me to taste the luxury. And now I, too, will need to taste this luxury forever in the future. So I'm the only solo cruiser because most people don't have that sort of... Also, most people, I guess, are more social than me. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. I'm the only solo cruiser. There's this family of 4 who are playing Uno, and they tap me on the shoulder and are like, hey, you want to come play Uno? And I'm like, I appreciate this so much. I will take a rain check on that Uno game. I just want to warm up because it's so freaking cold. And we spent the whole week trying to meet up and play Uno, but no one was ever there. Night 2, I'm just sitting, reading a Kelly McCullough novel in the lounge, and a bunch of people come in. They're here for gala night. So I'm not going to gala night because I don't want to get dressed up for a gala. I feel like it will, again, not be a surprise to anybody that I just wear t-shirts. And, well, I couldn't wear shorts on this cruise until we got down to the Caribbean because, as I mentioned, it was 9 degrees outside. And the one drawback of being in the yacht club is that all of the giant window breezy areas are also freaking cold because they're on the front of the ship. It's right where the wind hits. And they are very airy. And I'm sure it's great when it's super hot outside. It is not great in 9-degree weather. So these people sit down, and I'm like, there are people sitting down. They're like, hey, can we sit there? And I'm like, yeah. And they start talking about stuff, and I was like, sorry, are you guys engineers? And they're like, yes, we are all engineers, except for one woman who was a nurse. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm also an engineer. And then we talked about engineering for 30 minutes. And they were like, why don't you join our trivia group tonight? And I immediately had flashbacks to Grimdark James being like, you make trivia wrong. It needs to be multiple choice. All of the answers should be in front of you. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not good at trivia and I have some trauma in that regard. And they're like, no, come with us. Come to the trivia. So anyway, I saw them a bunch of times all week during the cruise. And, I hung out with the Canadians, and then there was my tea group that didn't go well. So, yeah, I mean, these things just happen, It was probably about 200 people in the curated area, and we just all got to know each other. I ate precisely at when the restaurant opened in the morning, and because there were only about 6 of us that would show up, we were all seated in a small area, and we formed a dining pod. The other groups were from Albany, New York, and then I couldn't figure out exactly where New York this other group was, but they said they were about 30 minutes northwest of New York City, which really just means that they're in a suburb of New York City. They're not really outside. 30 minutes from New York City is still in the orbit of New York City, to be very clear. And we would just talk, These people are like 60 and 70. One of them had like a $14,000 room with a duplex, an external hot tub, just absolutely wild, disparate levels of luxury, unavailability.
Just huge amounts of wealth being spent.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't need a duplex apartment on a cruise ship on vacation is all I'm saying. Who doesn't need that with your own personal hot tub? And because it's on... Now, this is the real kicker. Because it's on the front of the ship and you are at the highest levels of the ship, it is completely private. So most cruise ships, in order to entice other people to buy rooms that have external hot tubs, make the hot tubs visible from most of the ship so you can look at people who are having fun in their external hot tubs and go, wow, I wish I had that external hot tub. But it means that you, external hot tub user, have no privacy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Yacht Club, at the front of the ship, in the $14,000 duplex room, you have true privacy. No one can see you. Yeah, so anyway, people tried to absorb me into their social groups. People said some real racist stuff.
Turned them all down.
Yeah, I did turn. Well, I talked to people who were near me for sure, and I definitely talked to the engineering group repeatedly. They had some drama going on there. I guess the nurse's husband, it was not clear to me what their relationship was. He said something about her boobs looking nice, and that was the terminology he used at dinner. And let's be clear, when you're in a restaurant, the person who is behind your chair is closer to you than the person you're talking to. And they were not quiet about that comment, so it just kind of spread, like the whole restaurant kind of got quiet as everyone waited for something to happen, and something did happen. So, yeah, there was some drama there. They had what's called a white party. I've never heard of this shit, but I've also never heard of a silent disco. And that was crazy to watch. So a white party, I guess, is where everybody just dresses in white and goes out on the top deck at 9 p.m. and just dances and shit. But as I may have mentioned already, it was 9 degrees outside. And while they waited 2 days, it was only 40 degrees outside. So I did not go to the white party because I don't own any white shirts, and I certainly don't own any white pants. Do I have gray shirts? Absolutely. But also, I don't dance. The day of the white party at lunch, there was a guy who is the living incarnation of Florida Man. I would say he was probably in his late 50s. He was wearing an orange tank top that was very similar to the tank top that I wear on occasions. He looked like someone had broken his nose repeatedly and was probably an alcoholic. And he was talking to the person he was going on the cruise with, and they were seated next to a young man and his African-American wife. And the waiter came over, and all these people are talking normally to each other. Just to be clear, moments before disaster, these two couples are interacting. The waiter comes over and reminds them the white party's tonight. Florida Man turns to the black woman and goes, I guess you're not invited then. And I was like, holy shit. You can have money, have private access and luxury. You cannot buy class. I should have thought generations of shitty reality TV shows should have prepared me for this moment. But that was the most West Virginia shit I had seen in a long time. I cringed. The woman snapped back immediately. She was like, oh, try to stop me. And I was like, so brave, but also he's so dumb. He's so dumb. Stop talking to him. We all need to stop talking to him. Was not the last racist thing I heard on the cruise, but I don't need to go into huge detail. People said some wild shit, dude. I don't know. Money can't buy class, but it can buy a vocation. For overland train travel.
Travel. Yes.
Nice, Tina. All right. Now, Jamie, pull it up, please. Jamie, can we get Tea Party? All right. So if you are watching on Twitch, we should be looking at now I thought it was called High Tea, but High Tea is actually not that fancy. It's afternoon tea service, which is fancy. And this is the afternoon tea service I was served. Jamie, can we zoom in on my ginger beer? Someone was asking what brand ginger beer I was drinking. Hold on here. Let's see if we can zoom in on that bad boy here real quick. All right. Enhance. Quadrant 1, please. Enhance. All right. I do know that it was a ginger beer that had a seal the animal on the can. It looks like it's called Gosly. If you're still interested. All right, Jamie, enhance the sandwiches. All right, so this is what we're looking at the tea service. Fantastic. I was sitting there and they just started doing tea service. Now, I did know that they were going to do it at some point during the day, but I was reading my third Kelly McCullough novel, so I didn't really understand what was going on until they started setting out the nice plates there, and I was like, the tea service. The tea was awful, but I think almost all tea is awful, so no surprise. Now, while I was on board, I also got $350 worth of spa services. I believe, Jamie, can we pull up the picture here real quick? Thank you. All right, this is probably the best looking I will ever be in my entire life, unfortunately. I think this is where I've peaked with like several hours of spa service. I'm just going to get older. I will never look better than this.
Did you get a facial?
I did, and I also got beard shaping services and like all this stuff, and yeah.
You look like you're glowing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am not glowing right now. It was only for that one day. It was a very narrow time frame. All right. Thank you.
Looks good though.
I appreciate that. Now, before we go too much farther, Jamie, can we pull that up, please? All right, good. All right, so on screen, we can see my rival, John Cena. So as long as he's here, I do need to mention that in April, I am going to attempt... Spoo, did you get the joke yet?
Yeah.
They say come in threes. You know, I set up the Jamie, can you pull that up just for that moment, to be very clear. April will be a charity event. My hope is that it will be a month-long charity event where we will do 4 different Worldwide Wrestling RPG sessions. I'm still in contact with the 2 groups that I'm interested in partaking in it. But what'll happen is I'll be asking people to cut promos for their characters ahead of time. Like little 30-second things we can do is maybe a YouTube short or something. And then as you donate to raise the popularity and profile of the individual wrestlers that you like and to give them bonuses in the ring. And we will have an ongoing storyline each week. Whoever has received the most donations for that week will get a shot at the title starting in the next week's session. That's my layout. I'm hoping we can get to that. We are not at 100% participation rate yet, but that's my plan. And I wanted to mention it because I had to do the Jamie, can you pull that up thing? So just wanted to slip that in here as long as I was sharing pictures.
So you had a pretty good time on your cruise, so.
I think so. I mean, just to be clear, that was the super great cruise. And then, you know, I had a cruise at the beginning of the month that was just fine. And in the middle of the month, I had more vacationing, and I also got involved in local government. And I learned that as much as I might like the concept of unions, having encountered a union attempt to intimidate me, I'm not as 100% union as I used to be. It was wild participating in local government and watching a bunch of union guys stand along the back wall, and one of them, the union leader or whatever, like get physically violent in a room full of local citizens. He's like standing up, screaming, putting his hands on people, and I'm just like, wow. So the unions chose a fucking psychopath to lead them. And they're all just standing there intimidating the people who live here. All right. So this union is dumb as shit, I guess. Well, unsurprisingly, 100% of the community voted against whatever issue the union was promoting. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They want to build data centers in Delaware. These stupid fucking AI data centers. All of our state level politicians are all fucking completely bought out and are like, yeah, let's roll over and just fucking sell land. And all of the like county and local area politicians are like, hey, listen, guys, It turns out all the people who live here hate these fucking things and are worried their home values are going to plummet out of the sky and their bills are going to soar. But the unions that are going to build them are really invested in building them because it means jobs for them for about 18 months.
Did you see that apparently Costco's pulling all the RAM out of all their display computers because people keep opening up and stealing the RAM from the store?
Hey, this is a great time to buy the Costco computers. I don't know about stealing the RAM from it, but the Costco pre-builts are extremely economically efficient right now. I mean, they have become extremely well priced in the world we live in. Wow, stealing RAM out of the display computers. Wow, I did not see that. I did not. Well, I'm going to Costco tomorrow, so I'll tell you what. I'm going to be there, and I won't steal any RAM.
Well, check to see if the computers have
$1
RAM.
hot dog.
Sorry, you want me to open it up and check to see if it has RAM?
Well, no, they're all like the glass side ones anyway. So.
Oh yeah, some of them are. Some of them are for sure. Suppose that's true. I'm sorry, Savannah. I don't stop for the hot dog anymore. If I was gonna stop,
I don't like hot dogs either.
What? Whoa! First off, don't put that hex on me. I love a Costco hot dog, but if I'm gonna stop at Costco to get food, I would rather just go ahead and get the pizza rather than get the hot dog. I mean, the difference is about 5 minutes. Hot dog's great. Hot dog hater. First off, that's a quality beef frank. All right. Benjamin Franklin would show up here and be like, "Let me be frank. That's a beef frank." All right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crazy. The other thing I know about Benjamin Franklin is that he would watch Germans show up in America and go, "They are diluting the white bloodline pool." I wish that was a made-up historical fact.
Yeah.
And definitely don't ask him about the secret cemetery of bodies buried underneath one of his houses.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Franklin might not have been as cool a guy as we were led to believe. He did fuck the Queen of France, though, so.
I mean, you could say that about a lot of the founding fathers.
They fucked the Queen of France?
My God.
I don't think so. Definitely not Thomas Jefferson.
No, the other one.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sure.
Well, in your absence.
Yes.
It's been a lot of...
There's been a lot of fucking Warhammer and a lot of fucking Necromunda, dude. James and Dunamis have been running this channel. I told Lawson, I was like, you, James, and Dunamis have been running this channel, and Lawson was like, "I've done nothing." And then he turned away and immediately started playing Uma Musume.
But no, we're partially through wave or phase 2 for a lot of us, and some people are like, we're making their way. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Fast.
What else do I have here? Ah, yes. It's time to talk about the death of the vampire waifu. It's time.
I have a quick question before you get into it.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, so I know where this is headed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want vampire wife to drain us dry anymore.
That's correct. Yes, of blood. Just to be clear, it was.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's an important part right there.
I feel like I was always extremely clear that it was with blood.
Okay.
I think you can easily find me being quoted both in voice, in text, always making sure that it is understood that it was in blood. Austin, aren't you say you run nothing in these parts, aren't you an official co-host of this show? The Intro Hour Season 2?
I'm still not running the show.
Okay, that's true. I run this show. The time of the anime vampire waifus is over. In completely unrelated news, did you know that certain neurodivergent and autistic people, when pressured socially, can feel the need to bite people around them in order to relieve their stress. And then it kind of hurts. And it's not as cool as you remember being bitten in the past. These two pieces of news are completely unrelated, just to be clear.
I feel like they're not, though.
So when I came home and I saw Amore, she had Amore's had a terrible time when I've been away. So she's lost about 6 ounces of weight. She may have stomach cancer. A doctor put a finger up her butt, and my mom said that about 15,000 times now. Given the fact that we've only had about 48 hours to talk about it, I've heard that Amore had a finger up her butt so many times I need to pass that curse on to all of you. She grew a shit ton of fur. Like, I've never seen her fur this thick, and it's also kind of rough and wild. I think that she's going through a teenage phase or something. And her favorite water fountain died yesterday, and Amore will not drink out of bowls of water anymore. She'll only drink moving water. So my mom has been texting me nonstop to find her a replacement water fountain because Amore is starving and dehydrated because she won't drink regular water anymore.
Will she drink from the faucet?
Yes, she will drink from the faucet, but cats also clean their butts with their tongues. So I don't know if you know this, but you absolutely do not want your cat's tongue and mouth anywhere near your faucet. No, instead, apparently she's been sneaking into people's toilets and drinking out of them.
That doesn't make it any better.
I'm glad someone agrees with me. Concerning, yeah. So she's supposed to be eating her probiotics, but whenever it gets put into her wet cat food, she flips the wet cat food bowl over and then walks away and then asks for more wet cat food. So she could smell them probiotics and she doesn't want them. What else we got here? I got completely wrecked at Uma Musume on my vacation. Both at the beginning and the end of the month, we had champions meetings, and I got absolutely fucking rocked on both of them. I was like, for the one that was a couple days ago, I was like, I'm going to absolutely dominate this time. I have Christmas Oguri Cap at nearly maximum level. I have 5 green skills. I've never had 5 green skills before. I'm going to absolutely dominate. 0 victories. I've never done so poorly as this race I thought I was over prepared for. Completely destroyed. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Talking about lounge covers of Nothing But You by Bruno Mars done solely on piano. Right? I feel like just reading out that entry in my list of things here tells you all you need to know about that particular situation. Oh, I did forget to mention the lounge on the yacht club offered all evening long live performances. I think one night they had a cabaret. I was not present for that, but they did have like comedians come up, singers, and piano players just come up and just for like 3 hours straight just apparently do lounge covers of Bruno Mars. It was crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. Let's talk about shows that are spinning back up. Tomorrow night, Omar and Dunamis are doing a showdown for the end of Cattletech Below the Cutdown. And then in a few weeks, Omar and Spoon will face off for the true end of Cattletech Below the Cutdown Forever and Ever. That will be the actual end of the show. King Arthur Pendragon is back this week, and then I think we're pretty disrupted for a while. A Song of Ice and Fire hasn't even had its first episode yet, but I'm told that in the next 2 weeks, we may finally receive the art assets, and it's possible we could resume filming.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm glad you're excited.
I'm excited.
I let the people take the time they need to cook. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I gonna do, right?
Yeah. I've been wasting away in a lonely tower waiting for these art assets to get finished.
I do not control the rate at which lobsters die.
Yeah.
Rad is busy. He is selling a home and buying a new home, and also refinishing the home that he's leaving, while hurting young children. You know what I mean? I'm not out here to pressure him.
Yeah.
I am just telling the audience we could resume filming in about 2 weeks, and once that happens, episode 1 could get released.
Just been silently pining
for the fjords. Oh, for the show. I mean, I pied for the fjords all the time.
Episode 1?
No, it just needs the art assets, like overlays and character art, so that we can edit it all.
Right.
I've also pre-edited about as much of it as you can without, the art assets. So,
well, there's like 6 hours of dialogue-ish during a firefight, but
No, I crunched everything down already.
I'm
Omar, I released all of the pre-episodes. Oh my goodness. All right, Worlds Without Number is a show. It is spinning up. It does not have a name yet. We are going to meet for episode -1 this week. Omar is on the cast along with Kane and Gutfelden. I mean, we don't have anything solid yet. The only person who I know is definitely solidly playing the character is that Gut is playing a mob boss for sure. We're locked in. This is a Worlds Without Number. It does not
have a lot of detail for it.
You want to be a warlock necromancer from a place, but none of the places work for you. Wow, how luminous, Omar! You have truly shined a light.
No, I'm committing to the necromancer part. The warlock part is out.
All right,
but I still have it.
That's the part that's the part.
Throw a dart.
You being a warlock is the thing I have the most prepared material for.
That's fine. We can talk about it when we meet.
We'll talk about it.
There's options.
It's okay. I can throw my preparations out the window. I've done it before. I've had whole intro hours where I go, audience, be prepared to crush your own dreams, throw everything you have prepped out, and go with the flow. I 100% have had that episode before.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick a map of what
Gyre
places. Yeah, that, and then just throw a dart and see what happens, and be like, "That's where I'm from. I haven't been there in a long time."
Is it a D&D game?
No, it's Worlds Without Number. It's the Stars Without Number fantasy.
Yeah.
It technically takes place thousands. It takes place 40,000 millennia in the future of Stars Without Numbers. On Ladder Earth. So it's Earth that was never recovered. It's like an alternate Stars Without Numbers future where instead of the Catholic super robots showing up and saving Earth, that doesn't happen. And things get worse. And then we're invaded by aliens and it gets worse. And then we drive the aliens off. In the process, we create a sphere of like nanites and weather control devices and strange technologies called the Legacy. And the Legacy can be edited by whoever seizes control of it. And so the problem is that you have magic items that worked with the Legacy thousands of years ago, and now they're totally worthless because the way the Legacy works changes every few years. When some new person becomes temporary, administrator password or gets perms, they get perms, and they edit some small thing. And, maybe 2,000 years ago, all magic was based on how strong you felt your emotions, like in Dragon Ball Z, but it doesn't work like that anymore. And all of the devices and machines and magic items that used to work that way don't. But you can destroy them and turn them into cool, salvageable gear.
So this is the Earth that was.
No, it's called Ladder Earth. Earth that was is from Firefly. All
I
right,
know.
we can't take that. We can't take that
Okay.
sky from them. Okay, it's in the fucking theme song. All right, we have a different sky.
You're welcome for that setup, AP.
I appreciate that.
A different sky.
And then Star Wars Circuit is going to meet for a tutorial in about 2 weeks. We're still circling around. Can we make vehicle combat cool and interesting, and also only have one person be the pilot and everybody else participate while on the sidelines, you know, without doing Jedi stuff and waving their hands and making chance cubes fall over. So if we can lock all that in, Circuit could show up at some point. Well, we have about 10 minutes left. You guys want to talk about Blood Bowl or Warhammer or some crazy shit? I guess chat's still open. Wow, that's good radio.
If we do another Crusade in the future, are you going to join in?
I'm not sure. I need my current shows to figure out where they're at to know how busy I'm going to be before I hop in. I will say, it seems like you guys played a lot of fucking Crusade.
Yeah, I played.
I got several messages from your wife that were like, my husband has abandoned me on the front lines of a war 40,000 millennia in the future. When will I see him again?
How many hammers does he have to fight?
How many warhammers does he have to acquire? And now here I am, sipping a mint julep, reading a letter. I'm fanning myself off. No, wait. If I'm fanning myself off and drinking mint julep, I'm in the South. I'm drinking a Manhattan. No, that wasn't invented for like another 100 years. I'm in the North. I'm on the good guy side. But I like mint juleps.
Dare I ask, a Serpent in the Reeds?
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
We did.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, I have been told art asset delivery will be complete. And at that time, I will finish episode 1 and then can finally start planning for episode 2. Because I have a very distinct memory of an interaction with Omar where I said, oh, you know, I'd like to get episode 1 in, but I'm pretty certain that it might take a little while for episode 2. And it's like, why don't we just film it now? And I was like, well, if we film it now, it's probably going to sit on my hard drive forever and just take up tons of space. He's like, nah, it'll be fine. Here we are, months in the future.
Yeah.
I can confirm that may have taken place.
Yes, in the words of Brennan Lee Mulligan as Asmodeus, I was right. Wow, wild, absolutely wild. Brennan has been killing it running Critical Role Season 4, I have to say. Yeah, for sure. I'm 2 episodes behind.
We struggled to keep up. Like we just before the split, even my son and I.
I have to say, everything before the split, I think, was not as good as it is now that they've split. When it's like 11 of them in a fucking room and they're all dancing in front of the cameras and going in and out, it was very disruptive. And people were coughing into microphones off screen. It was just an absolute mess. Since the split, it's been much easier to follow solo storylines, right? Like the formula seems to be something like open with either something that's a flashback or is of one of the groups, and then cut back to the main group for 4 hours, and then maybe do a final scene with another group. But yeah, I mean, Sam is absolutely killing it, as always. I mean, it's Sam. And Whitney and Sam are a fucking riot together. It is crazy. This is the funny part about the soldier table is that they have a wannabe Aragorn guy as Robbie Damon, and he just, like, every opportunity to step up in Aragorn, he's like, I'm too quiet. I'm in the back of the bar with my hood up, smoking a pipe, and I don't say anything.
Hey, Pete, I'd like to also challenge you as well to play Clear Obscure Expedition 33 so we can discuss it at some point.
I have played some of it. The problem is I started playing it and I was plugging my PlayStation 5 controller in and it just kept running out of power. But now, ever since we started playing wrestling, I just plugged my Logitech in. So yes, I guess I should finish it. Let me see how many hours in I am. I thought it was very interesting. I didn't realize that the main character was Daredevil, but I'm 9.7 hours in. I don't know how long the game is, but it's so French.
30 to 40, depending. It is very French.
33 hours, you say, for Expedition 33?
I said 30 to 40, I said.
33 exactly? Very well. I've heard that there's 2 endings, and I also know that Spoon was like, oh yeah, I don't have the game, but I know the game. Want me to spoil it for you? And I was like, no, Spoon, don't spoil it for me. Don't do it. Spoon, I demand that you read that right now, out loud, in a Southern accent. Right now. I demand it. Do it.
Dearest Savannah, I hope this letter finds you well. I am stationed on the front lines of the crusade. Our boys in blue, it works because I'm playing Emperor Spears, who have a blue color scheme, have been fighting hard, though it hasn't been without losses. In between my daily devotions to the chapter, Primarch, and Emperor, I think of you and wish to be home. I hope you think of me well. War Leader Spoon, 5th War Host of the Emperor Spears.
Ultramarine. Go back to my cigarette.
And then the narrator voice would be like, he was killed in the next battle.
I was thinking something like that. If that had been my take commander, he would have gotten 1 letter off and then died before the campaign got going.
Later that day, War Leader Spoon failed 2 invulnerability saves and died on the battlefield, ripped in half by a Carnifex.
Don't worry, Spoon. Just play me and you'll live.
Yeah, dude, you've had some terrible luck against me.
I'll tell you, the smack talk is fucking real, dude. I was like speed catching up on everything, and it's like, oh, Rad is still selling his house. Yep, that's going by. And then it's just like, Tyranids good, Tyranids bad. Lots of Imperial Guard. Smack talk. And I'm like, Jesus, guys. that was one match with fucking 500 fucking lines of dialogue.
Dunamis and Omar. It's like, I'm gonna eat you, and Omar's like, that's what I'm here for.
Having fun.
Yeah.
You think you can have fun here?
The things we do when AP's away, we have fun.
Wow. Okay. Incredible. All right. Well, next week we'll be back with another episode of this show where we will be doing a breakdown of 2 Uma Musume musics. One will be Winning 5, and the second will be Menchuki Rush. So be there for that. We're going to break down the lyrics, music video style, and what's good and what's bad about all of them. And we'll be discussing Menchuki Rush's excellent dance moves and some of them that aren't so good.
I only know Make Debut.
Yeah, I know. I know you only know Make Debut and not Uma Pyoy, which is the superior version of Make Debut. It's like a...
She would recognize Uma Pyoy if she heard it, though.
Well, it's like a remix of Make Debut to some extent.
Right.
They share leitmotifs. Wow. So we've got 51 seconds left if you guys got anything you need to get out of the way here. All right. Well, in my mind, I'm just here Cotton-Eye Joe, and I'm imagining Spoon sitting on a riverboat, sipping a mint julep as cannons go off in the background.
Yeah, as a Space Marine.
Colonel Sanders, Space Marine.
It's 40k radius, so the cannons are actually really, really close, but still missing.
Yeah.
I rewatched the secret level with the Space Marines in it after having finished Space Marine 2, and I was like, now I know why Titus looks a little different than Space Marine 1.
Yes.
Takes place after. Oh, is that the
Yeah.
end time?